Yo guys, what's up? It's Alex from GMG Studio. Today we will show you a new design pattern. It's called the observer pattern. And the observer pattern is a pretty cool design pattern. You can use it for game development and for so many more things. But before we start with the video, we also wrote a Medium article about the observer pattern. If you want, you can read the Medium article now or after watching the video. If you like our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel and help us to reach 200 subscribers. This would be great, but now let's start with the video. The observer pattern is used to observe events. And a great example would be an achievement system, but I will show you a much more basic example. We made a whole series about how to develop a mobile game where you can catch fruits, and I will refactor the catch fruit method to use the observer pattern. If you haven't watched the series, watch it, it's totally worth it. I will link the playlist in the description. But now, let's start with the refactoring. The method fruit catch checks the fruit type it was called, and if it was a right fruit type, it calls the score manager to add a score, and the audio manager to play a sound. And if not, it switches the game state to game out. Now, let's refactor the turn event and use the observer pattern. We need two events. We need one public event action scored, which is a delegate, and one public event action died. If we call the right fruit type, we need to call scored.invoke, and if not, we need to call died.invoke. This will fire the events, and every listener will get a notification. But the notification is useless if nobody is listening to it. So let's implement the listener. Let's start with the audio manager. First, let's write the method we want to call when our event is fired. It's the play scored sound, and we want to call play sound with the sound effect catch. Now, let's write public void onEnable and level manager.instance.scored plus equal play scored sound, which means every time the event is fired, we will call our method. Because the event is a delegate and we call it automatically. And let's do the same thing with public void onDisable level manager.instance.scored minus equals play scored sound. This will remove our method from the event. And we are doing this in onEnable and onDisable because this is the best practice in Unity. Yeah, and don't forget to remove them, because they will cause memory issues if you won't remove them. And now let's do the same thing in the score manager. First, we make the addScore method private because we don't need it to be public anymore. And now let's paste the two methods onEnable and disable. We can just copy them from the audio manager and paste them in the score manager. Now we just have to change the method we add and remove to addScore, and this is all. Now we are done with the score manager. Now let's switch to the state machine, and we will make a private void switch game state to game over, and we will call in this function switch game state in the past game states.game over. Now we can just paste the two functions again, onEnable and onDisable, and we have to change the method we are adding and removing. It will be the switch game state to game over we just created. So it will be level manager.instant.died plus equals switch game state to game over, and the same for remove. But we don't want to trigger the event on scored because we want to switch the game state to game over. We have to do it on the event died. So it will be level manager.instance.died plus equals switch game state to game over, level manager.instance.died minus equals switch game state to game over. And now let's check if everything is working fine. And it is, the game behaves as usual. And we are done with our refactoring. And this is it. This is the observer pattern. And yes, in our case, it were just two functions that we move. Why should the level manager call the audit manager or the date machine? It shouldn't care about it. Like, it's an event that is fired, and they should act on themselves. And this is great if you have a more complex game. Imagine we have an achievement system. We don't want to call 10 methods. We just want to fire an event, and this is it. Guys, I hope the video was helpful. If you have any questions, please let us know. Write it in the comments. And see you in the next video.
Like the video if you liked the video, dislike the video if you disliked the video, subscribe if you want to be notified on our future content. We are also on Instagram and Facebook. Feel free to follow us there as well. And have a great day. Start creating, stop consuming.